I didn't really know what I was getting myself into whenever I applied to UTA for the communication technology program. The first class that I took was a theory class with Dr. Sue, and I was terrified because there were so many people in that class. There had to be at least 120 students. I was really afraid that if I needed individualized attention that he wasn't going to be able to provide that for me, but he absolutely did. Any questions that I had, he was always able to give me the answers. Then I took communication graphics with Dr. Horton. That was my first dive into the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite, working with Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign. We basically took a fictional company and branded them from the ground up, creating their logo, their tagline, their letterhead, a newsletter. It was all very helpful and useful skills that I still use today. The first communication technology class that I took, I created a website for a band at UTA called Modern Monarchs. And looking back, could have been a lot better, but it was definitely a good experience to work with a client for the first time. Then in web design 2, created a website for a fictional company that was an organic food truck called Organivan. Again, I came up with the name, the logo, created a website for them. Then I took multimodal communication with Dr. Horton again. This is where I first got a taste of audio and video editing, photo manipulation, how to actually work a camera, what an f-stop is, and that's where I learned how to use Adobe Premiere and Audition. In the next communication technology class that I took, we created a digital portfolio and again worked with that same Organivan website to make it more user-friendly and interactive. In Comtech 4309, that was what we called the PHP class. That's where I first got my taste of Bootstrap and really learned what SEO was. I remember we had a wonderful guest speaker, Bill Hartzer, who came in and talked to us about what search engine optimization is and how it is really useful for the client and how to work with the client better. Then in CTech 4323, which was user experience and research, that's when I first got my taste of jQuery and JSON, really learning about interactivity with the user. My client was Sweetwater Grill, which is a restaurant east of Dallas. Some of the problems that they had with their website were some navigation problems. People didn't really know how to get to the location of the restaurant, and so that was something that he wanted to be featured. There was a lack of visual appeal. There were not really a lot of images, there wasn't really a lot of CSS styling, and it wasn't mobile responsive at all. He also had a very poor SEO rating, so that was another thing that I worked with him to improve on. Choosing communication technology at UTA instead of UTD was the right decision. I don't want this to sound like an ITT Tech or DeVry commercial, but I'm confident that UTA has provided me with the skills and the knowledge of not just how to be a better designer and developer, but a more rounded and skillful person overall.